Hey everyone, welcome. Thanks for coming in tonight or today for you guys. This is our build session with Mark Midlick. Say hello, Mark. Where are you?
Hey.
Hey, Mark. So today is an exciting one. We're going to do a student workflow, which is essentially a way to get more smarter, more quicker. And Mark, I'm not entirely sure what you got planned, but the session is, as always, 60 minutes. So we're going to have a hard timer on, and you're going to start with a pretty much basic or initial setup for your workspace, and then over the next 60 minutes, build out something that will take you somewhere where we become learned scholars and genius ready to change the world. Any questions from anyone, please feel free to put them in the chat. Theo is in here too. Say hello, Theo. Close enough with a...
Hello. I'm here.
Okay, good to see you. Thank you. Yeah, so Theo obviously knows Tana as well as Mark. So between the two of them and me, we'll be able to answer your questions in the chat. So throw anything at Mark throughout in the chat, and we'll try and get him going. So Mark, the timer has officially started. So over to you. Let's go.
All right, full screen. And today we are going to Harvard. So undergrad, CS50 semester just started, and we're going to start with mapping out our syllabus. So we got our agenda for today. Just shift click to open that in a new tab, and I'm going to zoom in on the build here. And we'll start out with hashtag course. So I guess I had a little something in there. I did a little pre-work, but not too much. So we're still starting from scratch here. So we got CS50. We'll drop a link in there, and maybe we just want some, like an info field, just to start gathering some stuff. Command K, add to template, drag that URL in there. And then, all right, so we got our syllabus, and we got a whole bunch of stuff in here. Description, course notes, expectations, yada, 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 what we're doing each week, all the topics. And it's not always best, I think, to bring everything into Tana, but let's try it out just to start. So let's just bring in the syllabus and paste it here. So we got a whole bunch of stuff. Some of it formatted okay. Some of it isn't quite indented. But what do I want to do first? So let's maybe map out what we're doing each week. So I'm going to zoom in Tana here. And let's try something out. I'll do Command K, chat, AI chat with this content. So we just popped open an AI chat. It is referencing the syllabus node with all that syllabus content in there. And maybe I want to say, give me the week by week outline of this course. Let's see what it gives us. So AI is thinking. And it looks like it's getting us some weeks with some topics. So we can verify over here. By the way, I'm using a screen manager called Aerospace. It's pretty nifty, but also maybe overly customizable. But all right, so we got week one, we got our computer science thinking problem events threads. Got an extra parenthesis in there. But off the top, it's looking pretty good. Sweet. So what I could do here, now that we've kind of extracted this, I could just take all these weeks and bring them right over into my graph. Where did that run? Must have been in my main workspace. So do a Command K, move to Tana build session today. Okay, and then paste them back in. No. All right. So we got two workspaces here. When I ran the AI commands, it ran within my primary workspace. So the nodes belong to that primary workspace. So I had to move them over to my Tana build workspace, and I moved them to today. So all my nodes are here, but they're still referenced in the other workspace. Odd. Okay. Regardless, it's not going to affect too much right here because I have ownership of both these workspaces. For example, Matt and Theo are also in this workspace. So whenever you see this little eyeball, it's telling you that anyone else in that workspace probably can't see it unless they have access to like my main workspace, which they can't. So we'll get that figured out later. But for now, all right, I got my list of topics, and maybe I just want to list these out individually as well. So let's do a list of topics, and I want to try and ask AI. I wonder if I nest these. So if I nest these and say, list out all of the topics individually, ask AI, and let's see what that gives us. And we've got a bunch of topics. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that's all the topics. I kind of wish it would have nested underneath, but we got a list of topics. We will maybe highlight, indent those under here, and we're going to have some more. Not too many more. Okay, so we got all our topics. Then we could go ahead, Command K, select children, tag, and we'll add a topic tag to those. So now we've got all of our topics. And we got our weeks as well. Linked them together so that they were inheriting, but we'll go with that for now. Okay. So we got the topics we're covering each week. What else do we have in our syllabus? Let's see. We want probably to map out our quizzes and assignments. So I can go back to the AI chats. So I just did a search AI chat, go back into here, and now I could say, give me all my quizzes. All right, so it's got the date in there. And let's say I want to grab these in a field though. So I wonder if I can customize that further. So I'll say, give me the release and deadline in a field for each. Didn't quite understand the field. Bummer. I had it before in the demo, but anyways, we got our, it's not our quizzes. We got our quizzes. This bring topic thing is a bugger. All right. So I've got nothing in my main workspace. So let's go over there. We will bring the student workflow over here.
So just like trying to explain why that happens. When you do an AI chat with this content, we always store the AI chats in your private workspace. So those 2 AI chats you did, they should be in the daily notes, like today on your private workspace. And you can go and move those chats over to other workspaces if you want. And then that I should be removed.
Good to know. Interesting. So I'm in, oh, this is still, because I moved it over to the main workspace, but just a reference. So the dotted outline. So Command K, bring here, still didn't do it. Command K, move to Mark home. It's already there.
So if you zoom into it first, that should do it. Yeah. Zoom into it first, and then run the command
we
on
gotta
that.
move it from the other one. Yep. Good call. Good call. Okay. Move to Mark Midlick. home, and we go to my workspace, and we got it. All right, we didn't mess around with AI too much last time, so a little bit of quirks in there to sort through. But now we got everything here.
So Mark, this has been actually quite impressive. You've been able to like extract a lot of stuff, like in terms of a setup for the semester or the course as a whole, pretty quickly using AI. What made you think to do this? Yeah.
Just wanted to give it a shot. I know we got, AI is like the latest and greatest thing out there. So it's like, how can we take advantage of that? Instead of going through, I could go create a search, add the quiz in there, run it, and then, go through, all right, quiz 10, quiz 11, add everything manually. But if AI can extract it and save a few steps, once we sort out the kinks, then yeah, might as well take advantage of it. So let's view this as a table. And I'm still wondering if we could get the release in a field automatically. What do you guys think? Any queries that might be able to get us that? Maybe maybe I'll try another Ask AI. With columns for, what is it, deadline and release. So I'll paste those in there. Command K, Ask AI. Let's see what this can do. All right, so we got a table. Hey, there we go. I know I did it before. Sweet. So now it's got all these elements with the data splayed out in a table. And I guess the deadline does just say before you arrive at each section. It's kind of funnily repetitive. But we could change the view on this now. So I can say view as list, and we could see the table's field items are nested in there. So we could change the view list. We can go to calendar, and it doesn't look like it's applying those dates yet, but we might be able to do something there as well. So we'll go back to list. We will apply the quiz tag. We're going to get rid of these. Command K, Shift hard delete, get those out of there. And view as table. And we can see the fields here are gray. That means they don't apply to the tag yet. So we can see, add to template. No, can't do it from there. So we'll go into list view and add to template. Command K, add to template. So now if I go into quiz, it's going to apply the release and the deadline to each one. Let's see, we format that as a date. And can we get the dates to reformat? View as table. Maybe we add a column here. Call it real date. Make it AI enhanced. And we're going to grab the release. Whoa, there we go. Open up the workbench so we can see what's going on here. So I'll give it a quiz node. Great, so it's grabbing the release field. This is what's showing the expanded prompt here. And then I'll just say, I'll put a date, or I'll put the date. Change this real date into a date field. And if I actually select that, I want to give a sneak peek here. So if I have September 4th, hit OK, that's a date field. And then I call that in the It's not gonna, or it did apply there. Okay. So this is the format I want. So I will say output the date. In the correct format, example input, example output. Right, so put that there. Put that there. Only return the correct format. And let's give this a shot. Oh, I might need to add that. No. Okay. It got it, but it didn't get the time because I didn't put the time in the prompt example. So if I go through and I set this 3:15 a.m. I'm on the other side of the world here, so the format, date format's a little wonky. Let's see, I'll expand, collapse that. Does it give me, oh, because I need to bring this back in. Real date, I want to see what the AI is looking at. There we go. So that's the format we want. We want to get the hour in there. So that's the format. So it's going to feed this AI prompt within this field, the input from the release. I gave an example input, example output of what I want, telling it only give me the correct output. Will it overwrite the existing fields? I do not think so. So I will, whoa. Give that a shot again. And looks like we got it this time. All right, so we got our dates format in there. So now we can hop over to our daily notes. And let's say we want to see when all our quizzes are. So maybe actually let's go back to our student workflow hub. Let's go back to our course and we'll add a search for quizzes. And we could view this as a calendar. So we got all our quizzes listed out here. Awesome. All right. A little bit of runaround, but we got it. And I'll add this to templates if you ever make another course. I'll probably got to bring the course over here. Why can't I add the template? Yep, that's there. So move to Mark today. No, still want to add the template quizzes. Let's see. Quiz. Oh, so we don't have a course field on there yet. Okay. All right, all right. So let's go back to our syllabus. We got our quizzes, we got some topics. We got the week they belong to. Matt, Theo, do you guys have where would you guys go from here? You got your quizzes mapped out, got your topics for the course, connect them together, take some study notes.
Yeah, I mean, key materials, notes for the week. What else stands out? What would I want to know?
Maybe lectures.
So yeah, I was just gonna say I want a lecture tag that I can record when I'm in a lecture, and maybe have some have a summary, maybe extract some important stuff from it. Maybe I can chat with my lecture transcript and stuff like that.
Right on. I like it. I like it. Okay. So let's get AI chats back up. Go in here and let's see if it could get us our lectures. Nice. Okay, so we'll bring this over. And say, make me a table of lectures with topic in one column and date in another. Do that. Ask AI. Okay, so put our topics in the main name of it. With the link in a column. Try it again. Nice. Okay. So we'll do the same thing here, put that in a list. We will tag that as lecture, add the topic field, add the date field to the template, and we'll do the real date thing here again. So we used it once, so we could use it again. Add that to template. Go back, view this as a table, add in the, because it's already in the list. There we go. Add in the real date, run the AI command, because it called it something different this time. Fun. I could rename
Shift
this.
click.
Oh, genius.
Yay!
Genius. Learning new things every day. So shift click the X on the notifications, close them all at once. Let's see, I could probably merge this date field into the existing release field. So date there, release, and merge into release. That's just so I don't have to go and rewrite the AI command here, because I'm already calling the release field. So I just want to make sure it's pointing to the same place. Run that, and it grabbed all of our dates there. Great. So now we can go to a search. We could say lecture and quiz.
Maybe or.
True. Yep. Yeah, so if it was lecture and quiz, it would want the same tag on each. So we throw in an or clause where it's saying, all right, give me something that's tagged a lecture or a node. Great, so we'll go view that as a calendar. Now we got our weeks and our quizzes, or our lectures and our quizzes next to each other, and we have some topics in there. So what we could do here is highlight all these and tag topic. Sweet. I think we made some topics already in that other workspace, so maybe we could bring those over then. We could also change this field into a options from super tag. topic field. And here we get some, we'll hold off on the auto initialize for now. Sweet. Okay. So we got some lectures, we got some topics. Theo, you mentioned taking notes during our lecture. So we got a couple features for doing that within Tana. And one of the latest and greatest is the AI note taker. So this can capture both system audio and your microphone audio. So if you're watching your lectures, say on YouTube, you could record that audio from your computer and speak over that if you wanted to, or you could just open up your computer in class, record and extract those notes. So let's just start transcribing something here. So hit that microphone button after adding this, and it's already recording what I'm saying. And we could run a test if Matt or Theo, you have anything to add to the topic on Scratch?
At Scratch myself, I've got nothing to add, Mark, but I wish I did. Is there an actual YouTube recording for this lecture available?
There might be. Yeah, so just a little demo there, though. As you can see, when I was speaking, it labeled me as speaker 1. And then when Matt came in, got him as speaker 2. Let's see if can I overwrite from there. No, there's a way to overwrite so you can label the speakers then as well. But yeah, we'll pause that there. We'll go to Student Workflow Hub, mapping out some lecture notes. And
Claudio's put a later week Python video in the chat.
Oh, right on. Oh, I don't trust myself to navigate between different windows right now, but we got YouTube video here. So let's see, we'll open up YouTube. Vietnamese ads plan, because I am currently in Da Nang, Vietnam, so that's fun. But let's go back to our lecture for week 1, and we can paste in that YouTube video. And maybe we skip ahead.
Let's turn this one off and this one on. That is how a computer would represent 2, by saying off, on, off. In other words, 0, 1, 0 would be the way to pronounce it digitally. What if I instead want to represent 3? That's how on my finger I did this with 2 fingers. Well, I'm going to turn this one on. This is 3. Now this will, for those less comfortable, be non-obvious. This now is how I would represent the number 4. This is how I would represent 5. This is how I would represent 6. And this, as per the spoiler, is how I would represent 7. So
okay, so he's representing, I'm assuming some sort of binary 1s and 0s going on there. You can see it correctly labeled me as speaker 1, Matt as speaker 2, and the YouTube video as speaker 3. So now we got a little bit of a transcript here. We got our class notes. We could stop that. And as soon as we stop, we've got some default summarization tools built in. And that's what we got the AI processing in the background there. We got an audio recording. I think that might be a temporary audio recording. And yep, so we got a brief summary of what we talked about there, with some links directly to references of the transcript within that summary.
Very nice, Mark. And we're almost at 30 minutes as well.
Right on. Okay, so we got a brief demo of, setting up a lecture, audio recording, if you scrape say you got your lectures on YouTube, you could scrape the transcript from there, paste it in Tana, and just as we were doing before with the syllabus, we could run an AI chat with this content. So let's say, I don't know, quiz me on binary. Probably not enough data in there, but we got some questions. So probably just going off of what the AI itself knows. So when using any AI model, this little robot head will allow us to choose different models. So as many of you are probably aware, different models are going to have different features. Some of them are going to think longer, use different amounts of credits. And I wonder if I can do a little Command K GPT log monitor. So this is going to bring in what's actually getting sent to the AI and how it's being processed, what model it's running, tokens, all that. So when we were doing the meeting notes, for example, no, that's wonky out right now. All right, we'll dive into that later. But it'll give you our default prompt that we're using to generate this summary. But it's also possible if you want to go into this text processing agent. And for example, all these are your parameters that you can customize to get a different summary back or different components of this lecture. So for example, right here it says summary prompt. So if I have a field there and I start to type summary prompt, it'll allow me to customize what I want there. So for example, I could say, summarize this in French, perhaps. And I think if I just want to trigger that again, I can start the transcription, stop the transcription, and that's going to trigger another summary. So it's going to run this text processing agent. And it has now gave us a brief summary in French. So yeah, if there's certain things you want to grab from your lectures, yeah, you could tweak this beforehand so that it feeds you what you want from that. Sweet.
Awesome, Mark. It's looking good. You got some good ideas in here. Why wouldn't you tag something like the video itself? I guess that's where a lot of people have some, they start to explore their workflows. I see you've got lecture as like the tag here.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference, or does it matter, or what's your thinking there?
No, I think a lot of it's a matter of preference. I think right now, I prefer to have any sort of media content nested under a node because, for example, if I were to tag this, say, video, and then I return a list of videos, it's going to have this, large piece of media. And some people might like that. We do have, let's see, like a card view. So that shrinks it a little bit. But yeah, it's a matter of preference. You could tag a video and then, add in a field there, like, let's say, so we already have a topic field. Wonder if so let's put on, so we have the lecture for week 1, the topic is Scratch. If I tag a video underneath this, let's say I want to inherit that field into the video or any sort of notes I take on the class, I could add this topic field into the video like I did here. Let's say, make sure I add the template. So yeah, now it's the same color, so I know it's attached to that. And I could say to value from ancestor with this field. So what that means is the lecture week 0 is the ancestor of the video. And it has a field with a topic scratch. So I want to inherit the value from the ancestor with that field. So you see it didn't automatically apply, but if I remove that tag and then tag video, I'm curious if, since I have that there, if I need to remove that. Yeah, that's probably it. So it won't overwrite that because I had it there. But now if I remove that, remove the default state, add tag, video. So now I've got a topic attached there. Additionally, if I want to start taking, say, class notes, can make a tag for notes. And same thing here, you know, throw in the topic, add that to the template. And now I'm going to put a search note in as well. So I'll say note with topic field parent dot topic. So it'll be notes for this lecture, add to template content, so add that to the lecture. And now if I add any notes in here, they're automatically going to get the same topic applied to them. So let's say we were doing some query and stuff before. Go back to my AI chats. We got our binary quiz. Let's say I want to answer these for me. So maybe I take a note, you know, number 2 in binary is that. Number 5 in binary is that. Just binary system representation. Let's see. Here we go. Cool. So now we've got notes that are attached to the topic of this lecture. We can drill into the topic and not seeing references there, but I can do a similar query here where I just say, let's say just show me anything that has the topic of that parent. So everything related to the topic, add to that topic template. And now it grabbed the video, it grabbed the lecture, and it grabbed the notes. That's everything that ties to that same topic field as the parent. So now there's different ways to bounce around. We can, we got some lectures. 5. Oh, I got to bring this course in. Oh, that's a plain node. That's why. Let's say we've got all quizzes. All topics, all lectures. Okay, there's the lectures. Just put all this in random note for now to get things a little more organized. So went through a little bit of slop there, but starting to get some structure here. So we got all our quizzes, all the main topics, all the lectures. I could say dive into a topic, see everything related to that. So that can allow me to All right, I'm going to study for arrays, go to my lecture on arrays, start recording that during class, open up my notes. Arrays are important for stuff. Great. All right, so we got the semblance of something here. No, we're still in French too, so we have to tweak that back. But I don't know, Matt, Theo, where are you guys feeling from here? Is there any questions in the chat people want to see?
Yeah, just one quickly. Scott has asked, how would you record a classroom lecture if you're actually in the class? He wants to fall asleep in the back row, but doesn't want to miss any important notes. So
Yeah.
what would you do there?
Yeah, so we got a couple options there. As I said, we can do this. You have your computer there in class. You could just hit record. It'll record audio through there, or we give it a shot. Of course, didn't charge my phone, but let's see if we go into super tags for my phone here. We got Tana build sessions, but we moved it into the other workspace. So I'm logged in on my personal Tana. Otherwise, I'd show a mobile recording to this. Theo, you had something?
Oh yes, you can just record, press record on your phone, and it will go for it, right?
Yep. And you could also do a similar thing if you don't want to record, say, system audio. You could record a voice memo, so it's just going to record the microphone of your computer. If you're not playing a video on your computer that you want to record, you could do that as well. So that's an example of that. I guess, in fact, yeah. So here it just recorded a memo. And I don't know if it's going to take a moment to process or if we have to transcribe. Yeah. So Command K, transcribe. So it's doing that. So yeah, there's a couple ways to capture audio. Yep. Cool.
Great. Other stuff. So yes, I guess other things when I think about study, one thing that's been on my mind recently is kind of a study session, leaving myself a trail of things where I could say, okay, I want to do a session this week. Set it up so it's got the lecture, it's got the a task to do, take notes on this thing. So when I actually got some time, I'm not like doing that information search where I'm just randomly looking for things to do, like where am I up to in this course? But instead it's like really set up like, okay, 30-minute session, watch this, take some notes, do whatever. Probably one thing been on my mind.
Okay, so let's say we make a note for a study session, maybe again throw in that real date. So studying right now, could have the related content or build title from fields. So just call that cool. So study session for today. And then, so maybe there's certain topics we want to study today. Maybe we do a couple. So we do, say, Scratch, arrays, and Python. And then maybe we just grab some notes for the study session, add that to the template. So yeah, you could, bring in material from here or there.
Right. Yeah.
And then again, if we go into, say, back into Scratch. So if we have a quiz coming up for this, we could go check out that study session, see what notes we took for that. So everything's linked back to here.
Very cool. Yeah, and obviously you can do that on your calendar as well. So you kind of really set them up, prospectively. Like, hey, this week I want to do 2 or 3 sessions. I'll do them on certain days. Some good planning activity there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's one nifty one here I wanted to not go too deep into. It's a question of what do you want to bring into Tana and what don't you want to bring into Tana. I think Tana's best for big picture organization. That being said, you can get into details here. So one of these I thought was cool is like for this one project, they've got some lines of code for this. Yeah, this is some basic code here, but let's say, I copy that and yeah, let's say I go back into my CS50. Let's go into this study session and, wave project. And I could do a Command K, paste as code, or paste code as, and you've got your whole option of things. So this isn't Python, but let's just say paste as Python. So it's saying is like maybe you prefer to keep something like this in your actual IDE or GitHub or something like that, but you do have the option of pasting snippets like this into Tana. So again, you could paste in PDFs, videos, images, code. Am I missing any media? Let's see. We got so if I open up a search node, what do we have? The search operators. So this kind of gives us a hint of what's all in here. So yeah, media, audio, video, image. There's probably some missing on here as well. Cool.
Awesome, Mark. We've got a few questions in the chat. Might just bring a few of them up.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah's asking if there are any resources for how educators can prepare for new semesters of teaching. That's probably that's a domain expertise question. But I guess that's a great question for, I don't know what a teacher needs to do to prepare for a semester in terms of materials, but you could very much extract that information and put it into super tag the same way Mark has here for courses and lectures. If it's like a teaching unit or I'm not, Sarah, I probably can't expand any further, but you can definitely do that kind of stuff in terms of it.
So because trying to go back to maybe how we could apply some of the session build meta perspective that we tackled on the first one of these is, I'd recommend kind of brainstorming what are the components of that. So it could be, your students, your classes, your homework, again, like quizzes or exams. And then you could break out components of those. So like, name, homeroom, for classes, it could be, date, subject. Same for homework. You could have date and subject. And then take a similar approach when you get into structuring them, then you can, build out a tag. So yeah, let's see, how would I, because you could tie them together as well. So like, all right, these are the students who turned in this homework assignment and those that didn't. How would I go about that? It's a little bit of a segue. I don't know. I mean, how much time do we have? 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
All right. Are there any other questions, or it could be a fun little rabbit hole?
Can we do multiple calendar entries in one go?
No, can you elaborate on that? What do you mean by multiple?
perhaps you could have multiple dates in the same field.
Yeah, that's possible. So let's say we go back to I don't know, like quiz. We did the real date, the release, but maybe maybe we add a prep by. So like we want to prepare for this quiz, 2 days before the date. And that's another one we could throw in, say AI enhanced field. So how did we do the first one? It was something like this. So I don't know, maybe I'd say set date, 2 days before real date. Real date. Only output prep date. Let's see what that happened. Well, got it. It didn't put it in the right format. That's where I would need to put in, maybe I put this example input over here. Although duplicate. No, I don't need to duplicate, but yeah, we'll just try example. Right.
I know we're running low on time here, but you could also do this with a insert relative date command.
Yep. True.
Which would be like without using AI way to do it, but this works really well.
Yep. Yeah, there's often multiple ways to go about same approach in Tana. But yeah, so right there, we just wrote another little AI command. We want to prepare for our date before, the due date, and we want to do that 2 days before. So just ran an AI command, auto applies all that there, and then we could go and say view this in.
Just make sure to have it as a date field, because now it's a plain field.
Oh, good call. Good call. Okay, so that's a date field. And now we've got both our prep date and the due date for each of these. I'm not sure if we could change the naming format of those right now. But yeah, you can have multiple dates for a single item. And then if I go to that day, could have the related content show, would it just be, there's probably a lot of ways to go about this. For relative date today? No. For date from calendar? I don't know. What do you think, Theo? There's like, because we have a couple different date fields, but say we want to pull them all in. Links to, maybe? Links to parent? I don't know where my references section is right now, because I think that would pull it in.
I think either you would want to merge the date fields that are kind of have similar purpose. So you have one due date field, you have one prep by field. Now you kind of do that, and you have one date field. And if you want to show all of them in one search node, I would use like or, and then have all those three.
True. So yeah, set a due date, and then what the other was prep by,
and then,
parent,
and then have them all inside of an or clause, right? Yeah.
Yep. Oh. So I ran that. So yeah, so it's kind of like, things to do today, and then I command K, add to related, what is it? Just related, move to related content. So now it's going to put them over here. So anything I have coming up today that has a a prep by or a due date on this day will show up here. So if I start scrolling through my days, we got GPT-5 out. Yeah, so here we go. In a couple days, you know, if it's Tuesday, September 9th, now I know I got a quiz here and I got my lecture. So it's going to show up on that calendar day now that made that search and moved it to the related content there.
Very cool. All right, final 5 minutes. Feel free to ask any questions. I think we're covering most of them in the chat. Maybe let's show some views of Mark. Yeah, some final views. If you're like, or dashboards or stuff like that, that could help people.
Yeah, so I know some people really like, what is it, like a tabs view. So instead of having everything splayed down, you know, top to bottom, I got all my searches here. Well, one that I really like lately is putting related content next to a calendar node. So like say I got all my quizzes here, I can Command K configure node and let's see, related content, maybe throw in a search for my notes. So close that out. Maybe I have to zoom in to see that. Yeah. So it's just like this is a fun view I've been playing around with in my own system where you can mix and match all these different components in Tonix. At the base level, everything is a node. So I've got a search here for all quizzes in calendar view with a related content search for all my notes on the side. But this could be, you know, homework assignments when they're due. And I think if I don't have a date field, but let's say I put in a, let's say a due date field here. Add that to the template. Won't let me do it from that. How about here? Add to. It doesn't like that either. Strange. Due date. Okay. So we got due dates on our notes. And I think I could just drag. Yeah. Oh, because my query is for a quiz. I drug in a note and it applied the quiz tag to this. But if you had just like a plain calendar here with like say exams and this query was for exams, you could have a list on the side and just drag in topics and they're going to automatically update in the list.
Actually, Mark, I've just noticed something that we're like dramatically missing for student workflows is there's a distinct lack of emojis.
All right, we got the icon that's going in there. So let's see. Yeah, so just about anywhere you can just click this icon up here. It'll automatically generate an emoji, or you could select, or you can make your own. We also have banners there. Let's see what generates a banner for our quizzes. What do we got? Oh, one final thing to wrap us off. Studying at Harvard. That's what we're doing here. So yeah, if you want to add some swag, some personalization to your setup, yeah, you can generate these banners. You could plug your own in. Let's see what we got. All right, got some psychedelic Harvard session going on here.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool.
All right, awesome, Mark. We're down to 1 minute left. So, yep, maybe just give a quick wrap up and show everyone what you've done from start to finish, which has been awesome.
Yeah, so we definitely generate a little bit of mess along the way, but we pulled in, I change this view back to list. So yeah, we pulled in our syllabus. We started querying that with an AI chat to grab the different components out of that, like our quizzes, our lectures each week. Then we set up a lecture note where we can record audio, take notes on the fly, tag all these so they're related to the topic that we're studying each week. You know, we go to that topic, look at those notes. We could ask AI about those notes. We can have AI quiz us on these topics to build our notes up. We can, you know, set aside some study sessions. I got to rename that. Throw in some different forms of media, you know, whether that's YouTube videos, your own videos, images, blocks of code, tag and organize them accordingly. And again, really structure and build out the meta frame for what you're working on during your semester in each of your classes.
All right, awesome. Okay, I think that means we've hit time. So awesome to see you work from zero, Mark, and explore as you go. Clearly shows the depth of what you can do with Tana, as well as some of the iteration it required as you work through things. I was kind of impressed to see you using AI for the process of building and organizing info, not just like doing the study itself. So that was really cool to see, and yeah, a nice output all up as well. So yeah, thank you very much, Mark. Thank you to all who attended, whether it's late or early. Always great to see everyone. Penny and Joey, Sarah, thank you for the questions and the input. To all, thank you very much. Theo and Mark, awesome work as always, and we'll see you for the next one soon.